What's up everybody, it is Dancam, and thanks for tuning in to another video. And today I'm going to be vertically mounting the GPU in my NZXT H9 Flow Case. So about a week or two ago, I did this build, and while it looks fantastic, I think the GPU is going to look better in a vertical orientation. So I bought a kit, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into it. All right, so before we get into vertically mounting my GPU, I did want to do a test between horizontal and vertical. So I've been running the Heaven 4.0 benchmark, which is a GPU benchmarking software, for about 15 minutes now, and it's staying steady at around 75 degrees Celsius. And you got to keep in mind that these EVGA 3080s and 3000 series cards, they ran very warm. They pull a ton of wattage. I think it's pulling about almost 400 watts right now. So we've got our baseline while horizontal, and it's about 75 degrees Celsius. So at the end, I'm gonna do a test while vertical and compare them. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get into what I purchased in order to vertically mount the GPU and get into that whole process. So the kit that I decided to go with is the Cooler Master Vertical Graphics Card Holder Kit version 3. And I specifically went with the version 3 because it is PCIe 4.0, and it seems like a lot of them on the market are 3.0, and I didn't want to lose out on any performance. And I did a bunch of research to make sure that this fits in the H9 Flow case, because not all of them do, because I originally wanted to go with the NZXT kit, but it's been out of stock for months, and it doesn't seem like it's coming back into stock anytime soon. So NZXT must be the most popular brand, or their manufacturing process is really slow, or there's some kind of shortage going on right now, because I just can't get one. So I did some research and I found that this one is fantastic. So I purchased it, and then now we're gonna put it in. So I already unboxed it. So let's just put this to the side and bring out all the contents for this kit. So we've got the holder, which is very solidly made. It's not heavy. It does have a good weight to it, but it's not super heavy. But it's very well made, and we'll get to that in a second. But we've got the hardware to secure the holder to the case, and then secure the riser cable to the holder. We've got an instruction manual here. It's nice, it's got pictures for everything on how to set it up. And then we've got the riser cable. So this side over here is these two holes right there are gonna land right here, and we're gonna bolt it into the holder. And then this side is gonna go into our motherboard. And I like this little gray strip because it's gonna match the theme of my build really well. Although I doubt this is gonna be visible once the GPU's inside of the case with this kit. So I like this kit because of a couple reasons. It's very adjustable. Well, first of all, it fits. And second of all, it's super adjustable. So if you loosen this thumb screw over here, you can actually move it forward and back. So depending on your case, you can move it closer to the glass, you can move it further away. So it'd be cool to maybe do some experiments and see, what the temperature difference is, if there is any, but you can adjust it this way, forward and back. Then let me go ahead and tighten this. And then if you rotate these, you can actually adjust it this way. So I might try to see what looks best and what's best for airflow. I have a feeling I'm gonna keep it over in this position right here, but we'll see what works once I actually get it in the case. And then all you have to do is just clamp these down, and this thing's tight, tighten the thumb screw, and then we're there. So this is the kit. It looks really good. It's really solid. It's got great reviews. So let's put my PC on the bench and get this thing installed in there. All right, dudes, I am all done with the install, and the vertical mount looks so good. I think especially for the H9 Flow, vertical looks much better than horizontal. And as far as build quality, this Cooler Master kit is really, really nice. I'm pressing down on the GPU pretty hard right now, and this thing is barely moving. So there's no need to worry about sag. And I think even with like a 4090 or one of the huge cards, that there's probably not going to be any sag with those either. It is extremely solid and rigid, so no worries there. And then before we plug it in and check it out and make sure it works, there are a few notes I want to go over on the install. So the first one being that you should definitely plug in the riser cable to the motherboard before trying to install the kit. Because if you install the holder kit first, it is next to impossible to get that riser to plug in to the motherboard. So just make sure you plug that in first and then kind of guide the holder kit in. Then as far as the back, you can see it kind of hooks in. It's got these hooks right here. So you just got to get it in the perfect spot, and then it'll kind of just hook into the case. It was pretty easy to get it once I realized like the correct positioning. So just keep that in mind, that you kind of have to line it up back here. And then as far as the mount itself, let me get a little extra light in here. So you can see the two screws that hold it right there. It's kind of going in and out of focus, sorry. So it can actually go up one slot. So I have it installed in the lowest slot possible because I wanted the GPU to sit as low as possible. And if I went up one slot, you can see it would interfere with my AIO tubes. So I kept it in the lowest slot possible, but it can go up one slot depending on the case or, you know, your build. So just keep that in mind, that there are kind of two orientations that you can install it in. And I think that's pretty much it. It was pretty easy to do. The riser cable is very stiff and it's a little bit hard to work with, but just take your time and it's not too bad. And then as far as the positioning of my GPU, I'm definitely gonna keep it as far this way as possible, because anything this way is just gonna put stress on the riser cable. So I'm just gonna keep it there. And then I also have it positioned as far back as it will go, because the closer to the glass it is, the worse thermals it'll probably be. But I should probably test it to kind of prove that theory. But yeah, let's get this thing plugged in and see how it looks, and then do some benchmarks and see if it's any different than horizontal. All right, so everything is back together and working as intended. And before I put the side panel on and do another GPU benchmark, I just wanted to show you guys it with the side panel off and all of the RGB on. I think it looks really good. I like how the PCIe cables are completely hidden now. You can just see them coming out the top right there. And they're actually kind of being blocked by my AIO tubes, but I didn't like how they looked before, kind of dangling down at the bottom. And I might have to clean them up down there a little bit to make that look a little nicer, even though that's really hard to see at most normal viewing angles, but it looks really good. So what do you guys think? Are you a fan of the vertical mount, or do you think the horizontal look better? Let me know down in the comments, but let's get this side panel on and see how it compares to being horizontally mounted. All right, so the GPU benchmark has been running for about 15 to 20 minutes now, which is about the same amount of time I did with the horizontal mount. And interestingly enough, the temperature did not change at all. It is still staying at about 75 degrees Celsius. It did go up to 76 for a brief moment, then came back down, but you can see it kind of flickering between both. But it's staying at around 75, so pretty much no increase. And actually there it's more steady at 76, but just about the exact same as it was when it was horizontal. And that's really interesting. I thought the vertical mount would increase GPU temperatures, but I'm happy that it's exactly the same. And normally when I'm in game, it's usually the high 60s, so I'll have to try out some games later today and see if it's any different. That's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was informative, and if it was, please drop a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I post content like this all the time. Well, once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.